Today I wanted to make a video about repairing a boat propeller. I have a brass ACME boat propeller for a ski boat. This is an ACME 515. It's got all the specifications on the back, diameter, pitch, and the bore hole. This is a tapered one, 1 1/8 inch. This particular prop had some damage to it. I hit a log in the water when towing a skier. One of the blades had completely bent, and I tried to tap it out straight, and I put it back on the boat, and it was working really good. But what I found was that when towing someone heavy, so like when getting a couple of wakeboarders out of the water at the same time, 2 wakeboarders, I noticed a little bit of vibration. Couldn't feel the vibration any at higher speeds, but I could feel it at those lower speed when I'm pulling someone out of the water. So I thought there must be something wrong with the prop, so I took it off and I thought I'd try and work it out. But because it looks pretty good, I thought, how am I going to work out how it's bent or anything like that? So I don't have a pitch block. I don't have one, so I can't tap it smooth and compare it and so forth. So I thought, how was I going to do it? So what I decided to do was I went online and looking for videos on how to repair props. I saw a lot, but I didn't see anybody that could tell me how to compare each blade to make sure that each blade's properly lined up and make sure that it's going to be balanced for dynamically in the water. So what I decided to do was make a template, and what I did, I got a shoebox, and I just cut out the edges. Well, I cut off one particular flap. This happens to be the lid of the shoebox, and what I did was I made a template. And now the beauty of this is, because it's cardboard, and because I've got these little vertical flaps, or horizontal flaps and vertical flaps here, when sitting and curved, if I curve it, it can only sit vertically. It can't actually bend. Or, I mean, it bends a little bit, but essentially if you have it flat like that, it stays perfectly vertical. So what I thought was, if I number the blade and I put this up against a blade and have a reference point, so the start of the fin or the start of the blade sits there and so forth, and if I put that around nice and tightly, it's difficult to do on camera, but if I do it nice and as best as I can, you'll actually see I just traced a line, and that wasn't lined up perfectly, but when you do line it up perfectly, you will see that line perfectly traced onto that blade, and it's a perfect representation of that particular blade. So then what I thought I'd do is try the other blades, or pull the other blades, and compare them and see what the difference was. And to my surprise, 2 were perfectly the same. So number 1 and 2 were exactly the same. They were perfect, but yep, the third blade, the one that had been hit, was different. And so by using this method, by using this little template, I personally think is a great way for a home person to fix up their prop, just so that it's 95% there. It's never going to be 100% there, because obviously, like I said before, you're not going to be able to tap out the middle part of the blade or anything like that. But then it was only vibrating a little bit under load. So I'm thinking, after making sure each blade is exactly the same, I would at least not have that. Or I'm going to test it out and check out and see how I get that vibration, and hopefully I can make another video and let you guys know how it works out. Incidentally, I just wanted to mention also that it works best only on 3-blade props. I'm really lucky, because with this 3-blade prop, if you have a good look at it, you can see that I can easily get behind the whole blade. With a 4-blade prop, because they tend to overlap slightly more, it might be a little bit more difficult with this template. So it does work well with a 3-blade. But with a 4-blade, you might not be able to get to the very bottom edges of actually that's the front edge of the prop, but you might not be able to get to them because the other blade might be in its way. So you'll be able to do most of it. So please employ that method. I think it's really good. But like I said, with the 4-blade, you might not be able to get the whole blade, but it might be a bit of trial and error, or maybe you can work out something else to try and get the leading edge of the blade. The other thing that I also wanted to show was how I did the same method for the trailing edge of the blade, I made myself another little template. I called it leading edge, obviously I made a mistake there, but anyway, what I do with this one is put that underneath. Now with these blades, obviously you need some sort of reference point. I'm really lucky with this particular prop, it's an ACME prop, and they say they make them via a CNC machine, so it actually routes out the whole blade, and you can actually see the lines. I have to make a couple of assumptions, and that is that particular line there where the blade starts is the same as that particular line where the blade starts, which is the same as that. I mean, you could probably make some measurements and so forth, but I've made those assumptions. So what I do is with my other template, again, sitting at 90 degrees makes it really easy to compare each particular blade. I put that underneath, put it at the reference point there, and I line it up, and as you can see, there's the blade, the trailing edge of the blade, and that gives you good representation of that one. Did the same for number 2, looks identical, and also I did the same for the one that was out. This is a blade that was completely bent, and I did the same thing, and it looks, make sure it's 90 degrees, and yeah, it looks pretty good as well. So the trailing edge didn't need to be touched. This prop has been dinged up a bit. I mean, it's got some small nicks and notches and so forth out of it. I can't really fix that. I mean, I can't weld anything onto that or anything, so I'm just going to have to live with it the way it is. But I wanted to make it at least as straight as possible, and that way, hopefully when it's in the water and towing some wakeboarders out at low torque or at low speed, pulling them out of the water, hopefully there's no more vibration. So I will report back on that. And that's it. I figure that's a really simple, easy way of repairing your prop and making sure that each blade is exactly the same without a pitch block. I couldn't find anyone else that was doing it, so I really want to share this information with everybody, and hopefully you guys can do the same thing. It is not hard. A shoebox, a texter, a hammer, it couldn't get any much easier. Thanks very much for watching.